Hi again, this is Brooke with our health series. This is number 4, and I call it a zip through health tips. And I'm telling you, it is going to be a zip. And I had some challenges in doing this. I thought, should I say way less and try to talk a little slower and go a little deeper? But I just didn't want to leave anything out because all of these things are things that you'll need to take a look at for yourself. Maybe do a little research, look something up. But I want to just whip through some of these things because in the 7 decades that I've been around, these are the kind of things that I've paid attention to. So I'm just going to go for it. One of the things I beg you not to do is antacids or mouthwash. And get rid of the fluoride as much as you can in your water through filtering and all of that. Basically, what you're doing is killing the good guys. There are bacteria and other activities in the back of your throat that have all to do with your digestion, with healthy intake of food. And when you're using mouthwash, there are so many ways to keep your mouth clean than doing that kind of thing. Once again, that's Big Pharma talking to you, health companies and dentists who are supported by them in many ways, telling you that mouthwash is so important. Don't do it. There's a 40% rise in heart attacks and other things with people doing these kind of things. So no antacids, no mouthwash. Another thing is your mitochondria. Your mitochondria are the little energy cells in your body. They're in the cells and they're what convert food and energy into nourishment that serves you and gives you energy. And I've paid a lot of attention down through time to them. I've used different products that help nourish them and feed them. I've tried to find every way I could to support them because at one time, especially a few years ago, they were talking about many diseases as mitochondrial dysfunction, that the system, the body, the organs were not getting enough energy to keep themselves healthy. And I'll talk later on. I'm going to share something with you that absolutely supports your mitochondria. And I've used different things over, I would say for 10 or 12 years, I've paid attention to that so that those really deep, 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 deep parts of myself are getting the nutrients they need, and certainly nutrient density in good food. Buying organic, buying local, getting the best kind of things you can put in your body is really important. I want to talk about your food plan. And boy, we could go into this for 100 years and not get there yet. But the thing is that I would suggest the most simple thing you can do is eat a rainbow diet. Purple things, red things, white things, black sesame seeds, certainly green, but get a wide variety of colors in your food. That's going to make all the difference in the world. And another thing that really makes a difference is to use bone broth and soup stocks, things that bring out the collagen, bring out the nutrient, bring out the gelatin and other things that literally are what make the cushioning, the things that cushion your joints and all of that. And making soup stocks. Take a look at what real soup stock is. When I was working in a restaurant when I was a kid, I used to look in these bowls and they had eggshells and they had a million other things, all of the leftover tips of all the vegetables and all of that. And I went, what is that? And it was these amazingly rich, nutrient-dense soup stocks. So take a look at that. It's an easy way to create something wonderful. Here, we make these bouillons all the time. Some of them have bones in them. Some of them just have a lot of vegetables. But we save all that nutrient and make it as a base for soups in our lives. Another thing to pay attention to is your lymph system. We've talked about a lot of things in our wider culture about staying healthy. But my healer said to me early on in my life, you need to move your lymph system. You need to keep it clean. And so I one time was traveling and I had a mini trampoline on the top of my car, 10, 15 minutes a day. And they said, you'll stay away from the doctor way more than a lot of things you could possibly do. So that rebounder is really important. And I'm going to show you women something. This is Chinese, but I do this in the process. You need to do 13 breast circles. So 13, which way are we going? 13 this way, 13 this way for the 13 moons. Really get a hold and move that breast tissue, because that's a place where things can accumulate. And of course, we know what kind of problems we have from that. So get your body moving, get your lymph moving. And the other thing is move that body, move in every way you possibly can. You won't be able to see this fully, but I'm going to stand up here, and a friend of mine was showing me, just do like, move your legs, move your arms, move everything. Just be crazy and wiggle everything, every kind of movement that you think you could possibly make, because that keeps things moving. If they just calcify and get old and stiff if you don't move. And just that simple kind of thing, shaking your legs out and up and down and around and moving everything, even just that would be really, really powerful. If you can't get up, if you're in a wheelchair, you can still do a lot of movement with anything that can move it. And if you can, get out in nature to do that. Get your feet on the ground. Mother Earth is alkaline. She's balancing. Get out of your shoes, step on the ground. For your lunch, sit out there on the lawn and get your feet on the ground. That's so vitally important. Another thing is water. Water is super big magic. Super big magic. There's a fourth state of water that's the real water that's in our bodies. It's a more gelatin-like substance. And I mean, they're just beginning to realize that we don't even hardly know anything about water. And it's one of the most magical things on the planet. It literally makes life possible here. And so a couple tips. One, put a little bit of salt on your tongue in the morning. And that will start inviting your body to hydrate. Put a tiny touch of salt in your water. I'm talking good salt here. And it's the minerals. It's not sodium chloride that you need. It's all the minerals and good salt. So Celtic sea salt here from Brittany is one real powerful one. There's Colima salt from in Mexico, an old deposit there. Some of the ones out of Salt Lake City called real salt, Salt Lake, Utah. There are some that have the minerals in them without the pollution of the ocean waters these days. So get those minerals, get that nourishment, and that helps hydrate your body. Another thing is chia seeds. I learned from the workers in Mexico, put some chia seeds in your water, and that helps hydrate you, because hydration is really important. And another thing is, it's not just about glugging horrible amounts of water a day. It's about things like chia seeds, about salt that help you retain the water. And it's also about vegetables. Like if you do a lot of cucumber and watermelon and other things, those give you that kind of nourishing water in your body that you need. And I need to say right here for sure, I am not your doctor. I am not a doctor. I am talking to you out of my experience of what has worked in my own body and what I've understood from others. So always, you need to check with your healthcare professionals about any of these things if you think there's any question about them, if there's anything that seems odd, because there's a lot of issue around salt, but a lot of that is around sodium chloride rather than the mineral salts. So double check, every one of these things. I'm not prescribing anything. I'm only telling you my experience. Now, stem cells. To me, they're one of the most important things you could pay attention to. The stem cells are the pluripotent cells. They can make anything. You cut yourself, I got a little cut here, they're going to heal that. You break a bone, they're going to heal that. If the capillaries in your brain that would lead to stroke are weak, they go to that. They absolutely heal everything in your body, but their production and activity starts downhill after 30. And they repair and maintain everything in your body. So it's not like they're going to cure something, but if everything in your body is in good repair, you're going to be in better health than you would otherwise. So really, I'm going to talk to you about something that totally activates your stem cells and helps, in a sense, it helps you reverse aging in that way. So pay attention to anything that can support your stem cells, the growth and activity of production of your stem cells. Now, weight. So many of us have more weight than we want. I warned you last time about the drugs, I can't even remember their names, that are really challenging, that kind of take a pill and fix it kind of thing, or do some drastic diet and fix it. That never seems to work. But I found one book, and I think you have to put the word diet in your title. The the publishing companies want you to do that. I've watched them do that. But the Fast Metabolism Diet, that's the book. A gal named Haley Pomeroy, the Fast Metabolism Diet. And she's talking about how to speed your metabolism, get your body balanced so that it naturally eats and uses the fat that's there, balances your metabolism, and you come out of that several weeks of working with it incredibly healthy and excited about good food. You should be excited about food. Food is wonderful. To have this horror around food and eating makes it even worse. So it really is one thing that I can highly recommend. Take a look at it. There's the diet itself, and then there's all the geeky information about why it works. And it really does work. And it's about health. It's about well-being. It's about getting yourself balanced. Another thing to look at and think about is sound. You know, there are many, many healing tones and sounds there are these solfeggio sounds that are said to help with your heart, with your calmness, so many different things. There are all of these wonderful sounds that help in meditation and help in soothing your system. And also one to think about is noise pollution. There's so much noise in our lives. It just attacks us all the time, and our body's having to deal with it. And I wondered, I know there are motors out there that don't make all that noise. We wouldn't have to have all this noise from cars, but a lot of people like it. It's like, and if it isn't doing that, it doesn't seem like it's doing anything. And good old Elon Musk and the electric vehicle group have shown us that it doesn't have to make it doesn't have to make noise. And so we can do noise reduction in many, many different ways in our lives. Another thing is light pollution. There's so much light out there, all of these crazy lights on at night for some safety reason. I mean, that's a good one. It's like really the moon. If you've ever been out in the moonlight is incredible. And even if you think you have to be safe and be sure no one's coming close to your house, you can have lights that go on and off with movement. And that makes an incredible difference. There are also orange lights that they use around places where they need to see the night sky, the astronomical installations. So there are orange lights and down lights that make all the difference in the world. Another thing about light is that all of this light from the computers and staying up late at night and TV and all of that is incredibly damaging. And so there are things called blue blocker glasses. They're orange colored, that is suggested that you wear at night. And when you're using all of these kind of, cell phones and computers and all that we use at night, because it really makes such a difference in the cycles of your circadian rhythms, and also in melatonin. You need melatonin for a million reasons in your body, and certainly for good sleep. And sleep is something really important. Another thing, a quickie, is your sunglasses. Use gray sunglasses, not colored ones. If you use colored ones, you're eliminating spectrums of light into your eyes that are needed. You need the whole rainbow. So use those gray glasses, not colored glasses. Another thing is EMF protection. All of the electrical and radiation kind of things that come from our phones, X-rays, computers, and all of that. There are things out there that will make a difference. There are shungite pyramids that help. You can buy one of those very easily. I have something from Germany called a QI shield. It was expensive, and yet it helps eliminate a lot of that in my environment that I know is not good for me. There are many other things. There are shields you can wear on your body, and I also have those that I wear when I'm out and about. Because one of the things that's happening is that children are being given phones, and they've got that phone in their face all the time, and all of that radiation energy. And the first thing it kills is the part of their brain that's about bonding. And so their bonding to other people is damaged from the time they're young. So really think about all of that and get something to protect those phones. If you're going to do that, protect those phones and protect yourself and your children. I'm going to tell you just a quickie here that is about me and maybe about you. I hurt my shoulder not long ago. It was a rotator cuff injury, I guess you'd call it. And then it started to calcify because I had MDs here look at it and they said, it's just calcification. And I didn't realize that not only your joints, but your muscles can calcify. So what has been suggested to me here, and I'm using, is a homeopathic called Solarum, Solarum, Solarum malacoxylon. And you can find, you can have that ordered by your homeopathic team. They said take a low dose, a very low, 6C or something for several months, and it will help that. And another thing that I was told by a healer friend is that boron, the supplement boron, is helpful. You need to check into that and see how to use that you can't use it all the time, but that helps readjust your calcium cycles, many of which have been thrown off by the kind of shots and things that people have taken recently and the kind of energy that's floating around right now. So any of you dealing with that kind of thing, and a lot of us deal with that kind of thing as we get older, those are things you might check out anyway. Speaking of that kind of thing, there's a lot of work now in recovering from the challenges that the vaccines recently have given. Whether you got the shot or not, it seems like a lot of that is passing around through shedding and other things, which have been proven by research to be the case. So there's a lot of that energy going around, a lot of these spike proteins that are not very good for you. And I won't go into it now, but I have some amazing notes on some things, natural, beautiful, indigenous-based, interestingly enough, things that can be helpful to you. And also some things that are helpful to that brain challenge, the hippocampus, that has come from these things. So I won't go into it now, but if you send me a note that says vaccine recovery in the email or something, I'll send you some notes, because it's really important that we can change what has happened, but we need to pay attention to that. Another quick thing is what I call eat dirt. That's to naturally immunize yourself. Children used to be out. We used to run in the hills. We used to play in the mud. We were in everything, everything on us, all of that kind of thing. And we immunized ourselves by being in life. Life gives you the information to be immune to things if you get in the middle of it. But if you tuck yourself away, you don't. And a lot of people, an example of this is a lot of people are having challenges with shingles. Well, one of the things that's gone on is that there are now vaccines for measles. Not much anybody's getting measles. Well, when all the kids got measles, measles went through the school, everybody got them. And then also the adults that had measles also got another little immunization every time that came around every year or so. And so they were immunized against a lot of these things like shingles and, there's a whole variety of herpes and other kinds of things that comes with that kind of immunization. And now that we're not getting that, there's an outbreak, an enormous outbreak of shingles because we have no natural immunization for it. So let yourself be involved in life. All of these hand cleaners and all of this stuff, killing things, that's not how to be healthy, I can assure you. All right, sleep. I didn't even know all of this until one of my wonderful mentors, Dave Schmidt, the other day was talking about how powerful sleep is and how good sleep is connected to longevity and all of that. And one thing I can suggest to you is banana peel tea. Clean your banana, wash your banana peels off. Hopefully you're getting bio ones, healthy ones, but make a tea from them because they're full of magnesium. So anyway, check that out. That's something I'm doing. I'm still healthy, so I think it works. But anyway, sleeping. And I also, one of the wonderful products I'm working now, and I'm going to share with you, has a sleep component to it that helps you sleep longer and deeper, which is so good for us in this time of such stress. Another thing you can do is, I'll use my hand, but take your foot and the arch of your foot, rub that up and down your ankle and your foot. Just rub it, one foot, rubbing up and down the other foot, and then do it on the other side. And that is incredibly calming as you go to bed at night, so you can get some good sleep. A quickie, cosmetics and all the slathers we put on. I've wondered in my life, why do men have such nice skin? I mean, most of the men, if you just really touch their skin, they've got very nice skin. And we women have slathered and put stuff on, all the advertised products. You got to do something or else you're going to be in trouble. Most of them literally cut off our body's ability to create sebum and create the kind of protection we need. There are incredibly bad chemicals in a lot of these. Parabens, artificial fragrances. There's something called ethanol, excuse me. I mean, you can look this up. This is a good one to look up, because you can make your own products out of avocado, cucumber, aloe vera, honey, coconut butter, jojoba, apricot seed oil. You can look up recipes for the best stuff that doesn't cost much and is really, really helpful. Use it sparingly and well. So check that one out. Our cosmetics are really not doing us well. Another thing I want to mention is detoxing. Detoxification, clearing things out, is a really important thing. And the way we eat and the fact that we're constantly full and constantly digesting means there's no time for cleansing. So fasting is really important. You can do a lot of research, quickie research on intermittent fasting, which means eating within an 8-hour period of your day and leaving 16 hours for cleansing and clearing, and sometimes not eating for a day or two. I have done a lot of that in my life, and it has served me very, very well. Stop the digestion, stop all of that work your body does so that it can let go, rest, and clear out the toxins. There are fat detox programs because a lot of the toxins are held in your fats. So look this up and take some time. That's a super, super good thing to do for yourself. Another thing I want to mention is good stress. Fascinatingly enough, our human bodies need to be stressed at some levels in order to stay active and alive. And I don't mean the terrible stresses that debilitate us, but one of the things that I've been learning about, and many of you have, is about cold. I, since I was very young, have taken a cold shower after my warm shower. It stimulates, it awakens, it heals, and there's a lot of cryotherapy out there now that they're showing to be enormously healing. So your body likes to be, it's like shocked into, oh, boy, I better get it together here. And even like they suggest running, stress, get your cardio up so you're having to breathe hard. That says to your body, hey, you need to get healthier so you get enough air and can do this more easily. So that kind of thing is really helpful to you. Get some good stress, and hunger, interestingly enough, is good for you. Not just detoxing, but being hungry stimulates an internal process where you do much better with the food you eat. So all that snacking in between, probably not the best thing you could do for yourself. I'm getting toward the end here. Fats. You need fats, good fats. Your brain is made of fat. Cholesterol is actually good for you in many ways. There's this whole pharmaceutical trip and medical trip now about cholesterol and statin drugs, which literally kill your muscles' ability to function and lower your blood pressure, are killing people in enormous amounts. So check that out. Check out the research on statin drugs, statin, whatever they are, and realize that you need to get fats in your system. Like the thing is, good fats, avocado and, salmon and all of the kind of things that are good fat. Get that in your body because you need fat. And it's the kind of thing, if you're wanting to lose weight, that's used in the fast metabolism diet, because once you get a little bit of fat in your system in the right way, it cuts off your hunger. It's exactly what nature uses to make you feel happy and well fed. So really take a look at that. And I was looking at research the other day where whole milk and dairy, the studies show, in fact, that it lowers cardiac issues, it lowers high blood pressure, it helps prevent against stroke. That's in the Lancet Journal, a medical journal. So really take a look at a lot of that and be sure you get good fats in your diet. So just in general, look at herbal knowledge. Look what's around you. One of the things I have done anywhere I lived is get an herbalist to come and show me what are the plants that I can eat? What are the herbal medicines? What about that mint out there making teas? What about the alfalfa, the clover, the raspberry leaves? All of that, all of these things have incredible healing and such possibilities. You use those and you aren't ending up spending a lot of money and supporting the big pharmacies that are challenging us at so many levels. So find out what's around you, what's there that can heal you, what can nourish you. So find out your herbal knowledge. That's such a good one. Another thing is that I really want for you to store some food and water. You know, I know a lot of people in the Northeast where there are power outages a lot of the times. And when I ask them how many days they could go without having to, go to the store or something, most of them go, well, 5 minutes. Some of them go a day, some 2 days, unless you have 3 or 4 days of basic food. And that can be rice and beans and simple things that would keep you alive, where you don't have to be calling emergency services when elder people and sick people and others who really need help are calling them. So I really, really hope that you pay attention to storing some simple foods. It isn't that hard. Get some things that you can have to feed your family in case you need it. And then another thing, and the final thing that I'm going to say is think about love, think about caring, think about kindness. Think about nurturing other people. Think about being good to other people, being good to yourself, loving yourself, not giving yourself such a hard time all the time, stressing yourself more than's needed. Meditate, be sweet to yourself, rest, take it easy, turn off the junk around you, go out into nature. Send your love out into all of life and those around you, and invite that love to come into your own life. Love and caring are so important to making us healthy. I read something the other day that I'll close with that I really like, and it said, enlightenment is how much we help each other. So next time, I'm going to be talking about making magic real, about some of the cutting edge science that's happening and some of the things I'm using to literally reverse the aging in my cells and support my stem cells and keep me incredibly vital and alive, even after 7 decades of a really intense life. And I would want that for you. And I want you to know that I went the other day and spent some time with one of our grandmothers here in an elder home. And I mean, that's kind of where everyone's headed if you don't take care of yourself. And I wouldn't want that for any of you. So I'll be talking about making the magic real in the next time we have together. So thank you very much. Look up some of these things. I whipped through them madly, but I think they're all really important. So take care of yourself and be well.